History of Russia by Epic History TV, Part 1. Let's go. If you want to go see extended content, bonus content, head over to our Patreon. Links in the description box down below. Ooh. There you go, guys.
Now you can see it
For
too.
thousands of years, the lands known today as Russia and Ukraine were inhabited by nomadic tribes and mysterious Bronze Age cultures.
I love this guy's voice.
Oh, mate.
The
so
only
good.
record they left were their graves. In the great open grasslands of the south, the steppe, they buried their chieftains beneath huge mounds called kurgans.
Wow.
The ancient Greek historian Herodotus called these people Scythians. Their lands were overrun by the same nomadic warriors who brought down the Roman Empire.
Wow.
The land was then settled by Slavs. They shared some language and culture, but were divided into many different tribes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're listening to these
Vikings
ones.
from Scandinavia, known in the east as Varangians, rode up Russia's long rivers on daring raids and trading expeditions. According to legend, the East Slavs asked a Varangian chief named Rurik to be their prince and unite the tribes. He accepted and made his capital at Novgorod. His dynasty, the Rurikids, would rule Russia for 700 years.
Fucking hell, that's bloody good.
His people called themselves the Rus and gave their name to the land.
Land of the Rus.
Rurik's successor, Oleg, captured Kiev, making it the capital of a new state, Kievan Rus. A century later, seeking closer
that's,
ties with the Byzantine Empire,
Kievan Rus, or Kiev, is obviously the capital of Ukraine.
Yeah, Kiev's the capital of Ukraine, yeah.
But yeah.
to the south, Vladimir the Great adopted their religion and converted to Orthodox Christianity. He is still venerated today as the man who brought Christianity to Ukraine and Russia.
Okay.
Okay.
Yaroslav the Wise codified laws and conquered new lands. His reign marked the golden age of Kievan Rus. It was amongst the most sophisticated and powerful states in Europe.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
But
so
after
what we have
Yaroslav's death,
is the Holy Roman Empire, Kingdom of Hungary, and the Byzantine Empire. That was obviously, the Byzantine Empire is obviously partly the Roman Empire. Like when the West Roman Empire fell, the Eastern Roman Empire became the Byzantine Empire. And then the Abbasid of the Caliphate, I've covered them quite a bit as well. So this is quite a prime time in history.
his sons fought amongst themselves. Kievan Rus disintegrated into a patchwork of feuding princedoms. Just as a deadly new threat emerged from the east.
The Huns,
The Mongols under Genghis Khan had overrun much of Asia. Now they launched a great raid across the Caucasus Mountains and defeated the Kievan princes at the Battle of the Kalka River, but then withdrew. 14 years later, the Mongols returned. A gigantic army led by Batu Khan overran the land. Cities that resisted were burnt, their people slaughtered. The city of Novgorod was spared because it submitted to the Mongols. Its prince, Alexander Nevsky, then saved the city again, defeating the Teutonic Knights at the Battle of the Ice, fought above a frozen lake. He remains one of Russia's most revered heroes.
I understand it. Do you know what I mean? Stop
The
Mongol
Mongols
Empire and
ruled the
Teutonic
land
Knights.
as conquerors. Their new empire was called the Golden Horde, ruled by a Khan from his new capital at Sarai. The Rus princes were his vassals. They were forced to pay tribute or suffer devastating reprisal raids. They called their oppressors Tatars. They lived under the Tatar yoke. Alexander Nevsky's son, Daniel, founded the Grand Principality of Moscow, which quickly grew in power. Under the great Uzbek
now we get
Khan,
Moscow
the
involved.
Tatars converted to Islam. a rising power, the Grand Duchy of Lithuania defeated the Tatars at the Battle of Blue Waters and conquered Kiev. 18 years later, Dmitry Donskoy, Grand Prince of Moscow, also defeated the Tatars at the Great Battle of Kulikova Field. After years of infighting, the Golden Horde now began to disintegrate into rival khanates. Constantinople,
as most empires do, they crumble eventually.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I see you. You haven't liked the video yet. Why not? Go on, go like it. While you're at it, you know you want to subscribe. And if you want to go to our social medias, all the links you need are in the description box down below. And you might as well head over to our Patreon as well, where you can get extra bonus content if you're enjoying this. That link's in the description box down below. But we'll get straight back into the video. Love you guys.
capital and last outpost of the once great Byzantine Empire, fell to the Turkish Ottoman Empire. Some hailed Moscow as the Third Rome, the seat of Orthodox Christian faith. Now Rome and Constantinople had fallen.
Interesting. I didn't know
Meanwhile, the Grand Princes of Moscow continued to expand their power, annexing Novgorod and forging the first Russian state. At the Ugra River, Ivan III of Moscow faced down the Tatar army and forced it to retreat. Russia had finally cast off the Tatar yoke.
Okay.
Becoming their own independent
Under
state.
Grand
Nice.
Prince Vasily III, Moscow continued to grow in size and power. His son, Ivan IV, was crowned the first Tsar of Russia.
Ivan the
He would be
Terrible.
remembered as Ivan the Terrible.
Oh, we've learned a lot about him.
Ivan conquered Tatar lands in Kazan and Astrakhan, but was defeated in the Livonian War by Sweden and the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Ivan's modernizing reforms gave way to a reign of terror and mass executions, fueled by his violent paranoia.
I think that would be a recurring theme
Russia
in
was
the
still
Russian history, by the way.
vulnerable. Raiders from the Crimean Khanate were able to burn Moscow itself. But the next year, Russian forces routed the Tatars at Molody, just south of the city. Cossacks now lived on the open steppe, a lawless region between three warring states.
Those Cossacks.
They were skilled horsemen who lived freely and were often recruited by Russia and Poland to fight as mercenaries. Ivan the Terrible's own son, the Tsarevich, fell victim to one of his father's violent rages, bludgeoned to death with the royal scepter.
Killing your own son, brother.
The Cossack adventurer Yermak
I could probably understand why he's done it, being
Christianity.
paranoid. You're on a roll today for fire.
He killed him with the sept. Like,
Timofeyevich led the Russian conquest of Siberia, defeating Tatars and subjugating indigenous tribes.
Ooh.
In the north, Arkhangelsk was founded, for the time being Russia's only seaport linking it to Western Europe, though it was icebound in winter. Ivan the Terrible was succeeded by his son, Fyodor I, who died childless.
oh,
It was the end of the Rurikid dynasty.
what a shame.
Ivan's advisor, Boris Godunov, became Tsar. But after his sudden death, his widow and teenage son were brutally murdered, and the throne seized by an impostor claiming to be Ivan the Terrible's son. He too was soon murdered.
Yeah, see that one coming.
Russia
Yeah.
slid into anarchy, the so-called Time of Troubles. Rebels and foreign armies laid waste to the land, and the population was decimated by famine and plague. Polish troops occupied Moscow. Swedish troops seized Novgorod. The Russian state seemed on the verge of extinction.
Oh shit.
Yeah, 1613. Ah, you wanker. You wanker.
Oh, you've got a thing of doing that.
They do, don't they? They
You've
do.
got a thing of doing that.
But well played, because I am thoroughly
I
interested
bet his
now.
missus must love him. He must tase the absolute shit out of her.
Leave her on the edge all the fucking time. We thoroughly enjoyed this one, and we're looking forward to getting to the next reaction. If you are, you know what you need to do. But before we get to that, because this is a reaction of a YouTube content creator, go to their channel. Links in the description box down below. Subscribe,
check
hit
them
their
out, honestly.
notification bell. They make amazing content, and if you want to, you can like and comment on our video, and we will catch you in the next one.
Don't forget to subscribe.
That's the one.